Just tell me, am I audible to you? Now, just tell me. Okay. Okay, today we are going to see about Annelida. Okay, the new phylum Annelida. Up to yesterday, we have completed Porifera, Protozoa, Coelenterata, and Helminthes, Platyhelminthes and Nemathelminthes. Okay, but today we are going to start with the new phylum Annelida. See, this is what your syllabus. See, showing syllabus is why, because you have to know what are all the topics you have to study. Okay, you should not deviate from the exam track. That is why I'm keep on showing the syllabus again and again. Okay, see, we have completed all these general terms and protozoa, porifera, coelenterata, helminthes. Okay, and all these things will be discussed clearly. Up to this, do you find any doubts? Do you find any difficulties in understanding any concepts? Means you can tell me now. Okay. In today's class, what we are going to see is Annelida. And by today itself, we are going to complete this phylum Annelida. Clear? Okay. In Annelida, what are all the topics we have to focus is excretory system. Okay, but we can't study all the excretory system which is present in all each and every individual organisms. But generally, we are going to study what are all the excretory organ for used for the process of excretion by the organisms which is placed under the phylum Annelida. Okay, generally, what the excretory organ we are going to deal with that, and coelom formation, coelom and coelom ducts. Okay, these are all the topics which we are going to focus today. Okay. Okay, the best example for Annelida is earthworm. Okay, Ferritima. Yeah, and from the phylum Annelida, what is the unique concepts we to focus is a metameric segmentation. The process of segmentation is start from only from the phylum Annelida. Yeah. So the general characteristics, mostly they are aquatic, some terrestrial, burrowing, or tuberculous, and some commensal are parasitic in nature. You know what is the meaning of parasitic and what is the meaning of commensal. And body is elongated, bilaterally symmetrical. And what is bilaterally symmetrical? We know that we have to cut that particular organisms at a particular plane. Okay, we can't cut the organisms at any plane to get a two equal halves. Okay, bilaterally symmetrical means we can cut the organisms only at a particular plane. Triploblastic again, ectoderm, endoderm, and the middle mesoderm will be three. There are three layers when it comes to triploblastic animals. Truly coelomate, this will be your questionable area, and in your syllabus there is a separate topics called coelomodax, coelom. Why? Because this phylum is completely coelomate. A true body cavity will be developed. There are two different types of coelomate animal. In the second class, I have explained you this clearly. Enterocoelomate and schizocoelomate. And what is the difference between these two terms? The body cavity will be arise by splitting the mesoderm. Then it is comes under the schizocoelomate. Okay, and in enterocoelomate, the body organisms will be arise from the digestive tract. Okay, this is the two. Anyhow, these isocoelomate and both enterocoelomate, both are the true coelomate animal, but this is the difference. Anyhow, the body cavity is very well developed. Okay, but the arising point, the emerging point will be different. Okay, and metamerically segmented. This can also be asked in your question. Which organisms shows a perfect metameric segmentation means the phylum Annelids. Epidermis of a single layer of columnar epithelial cells is covered externally by a thin cuticle not made up of chitin. Epidermis is an outer layer. It is generally made up of a single layer and particularly columnar epithelial cells which is covered externally by a thin cuticle. Okay, and not made up of chitin, which means what? It can be easily degenerated. If it is made up of chitin, it is hard to degenerate. It is hard to destroy that particular organisms, but it is made up of only a thin cuticle. Okay, and body wall is dermomuscular. The muscular system is very well developed. Outer muscle fibers is circular and inner is longitudinal. So a very well muscular system is developed from the phylum Annelids. And what is about the locomotory organs? The locomotory organs are segmentally repeated chitinous bristles, and that particular structure is called as setae or chetae. So what is the locomotory organs? When it comes to the phylum Annelids, it's the name is setae or the chetae. Okay, embedded in the skin, may be borne by lateral fleshy appendages or the parapodia. So parapodia is also deals with the locomotory organ. Clear? Now, phylum. We know this phylum, the organisms which is placed under this particular phylum comes under truly coelomate animal. It has a very well developed body cavity, but we have to know what is the type, which type of coelomate animal is this, whether it is isocoelomate or enterocoelomate. The answer is isocoelous. Okay, we know that the body cavity will be arise by splitting the mesoderm. Then it is said to be as a isocoelous. Mostly well developed except in the leeches. Okay, when it comes to the leeches, the coelom is not that much developed. But apart from the leeches, other organisms which is placed under the phylum Annelids are isocoelous in nature. Usually divided into compartments by transverse septa. Coelomic fluid with cells or the corpuscles. Now, the digestive system is straight and complete. Okay, what is it? The digestive system is straight and complete. What is complete digestive system? What about this complete digestive system? A complete digestive system means starting from the mouth and ends with anus. Very good, super. Starting from the mouth and it has to followed by pharynx, esophagus, stomach, and the gut area, that is intestine, and it has to end with anus. So this is a straight digestive tract, and right from the mouth to the anus everything will be present in that particular organism. So this phylum Annelids is said to be as the has complete digestive system with it. Okay, and the digestion is entirely extracellular. It is not intracellular. The digestion does not occur within a cell. It is occurring outside the cell, that is extracellular. And the body vascular system is closed. And I have explained you from the first class. There are two different types of blood vascular system can be seen. Okay, one is open blood vascular system and closed blood vascular system. And this closed blood vascular system is seen in little bit higher animals or higher organisms. But the open blood vascular system is shown is can be shown by the primitive individuals, because this open blood vascular system is devoid of blood vessels. The blood vessels cannot has the opportunity to flow within the blood vessels, cannot function, cannot going to function organically. It is just by pumping and relaxing. Okay, one relaxation or one contraction release the bloods to all the parts of the body. In case of closed blood vascular system, the blood will organically move or pass through the blood vessels. So in this particular phylum Annelids, the blood vascular system is closed because it is very well developed organism and it has a blood vessels through which the blood which can flow to any other parts of the body. Okay. Now, the respiratory pigments are either hemoglobin or erythropoietin. This can be asked in your question. Don't forget this. Note this point. See the respiratory pigments. When it comes to human, what is said to be as a respiratory pigment? Just tell me. Obviously, hemoglobin. But there are other respiratory pigments is also there. Hemocyanin, hemoerythrin, hemoglobin, like this. Yes, heme. Heme, okay. Hemoglobin is there. Heme is the protein part. And what about this globin? There are two different parts will be seen in this particular protein. Okay. So heme is a iron. Heme iron, it is a metal, and globin is a protein. Okay. Like in the same way, hemocyanin is there, hemoerythrin is there, but when it comes to the phylum Annelids, the respiratory pigment is hemoglobin and erythropoietin. Clear? And it has been dissolved in the blood plasma, we know that. And respiration is done by the moist skin or gills of parapodia and the head. So the respiratory organelles is also there. The circulatory system is also very well developed. The digestive system is also very well developed. The body cavity is also very well developed. And last and final thing, excretory organ is also very well developed. So all the important physiological systems has been perfectly um, emerged, perfectly arranged from the phylum Annelids. Clear? So the excretory system consisting or metamerically disposed coil tubes, which is called as nephridia. What is an excretory organ when it comes to the platyhelminthes? Name of the cells which is going to perform an excretory function in platyhelminthes is phloem cells. Okay, like in the same way, what is the name of an excretory organ which is present in the phylum Annelids? It's nephridia. Okay, so this all points are very, very important. Okay. Also, the nervous system, sensory system, and the reproductive system. Nervous system with a pair of cerebral ganglia, brain, and a double ventral nerve cord bearing ganglia and nervous system in each segment. We know that the phylum Annelids is known for its metameric segmentation. Each segment is known for its their own importance. Like in the same way, this nervous system with a pair of cerebral ganglia and the double ventral nerve cord bearing ganglia and the lateral nerves in each segment will be present there. Clear? Now, sensory organs. So the nervous system is also developed, very well developed. The sensory organs includes tactile organs, taste buds, statocyst, photoreceptor cells, and sometimes eyes with lens in some of the organisms can be seen. So the sensory organs will also be very well developed. Hermaphrodite animal sexes are separate. Whether it is monoecious or dioecious, just answer for your own. This hermaphrodite or the sexes are separate. This how a hermaphrodite animal is said to be as the monoecious. Monoecious animal. Here the sexes are not separate. Both male and female can be present in the same individual. Also, the sexes can also be dioecious. Clear? And it is a bisexual in nature. The cleavage is spiral or determinate. This is the type of the cleavage followed by the earthworm. And name of the larval stage. Once again, and the most important point is larval stage is present here. And what is the name of the larva? Trochophore larva. Let me ask you a simple question. What is the name of the larval stages seen in the phylum Porifera? Just tell me, what is the name of the phylum? What is the name of the, what is the name of the larval stage which is present in the phylum Porifera? And what is the name of the larval stages which is present in the Coelenterata? So, what is your duty is you should know phylum Porifera, Coelenterata. Anyhow, I'm going to provide you an important flow chart with respect to all these phylum, but you should know what are all the larval stages seen in all the phylum, which are all the phylums which is devoid of the larval stages, which organisms the development is direct without any larval stages. Like that, you should know that. So, in Trochophore larva, Trochophore larva is the larval stages undergoing through the metamorphosis process, which are the phylum Annelids. Clear? And regeneration is common. The capacity of regenerating their own body parts is commonly seen here. This is the most common points when it comes to the phylum Invertebrata. Okay, which is come under the class Invertebrata. See, in Invertebrata, I have mentioned you one important point when I taught about the general characteristics of invertebrates. Regeneration is a regeneration is can be very well seen in the invertebrates. So the same point is repeating again. So the regeneration can also be seen here. Okay, that's all about the general characteristics. When it comes to the classification, the first class we are going to see is Polychaeta. The word poly means many. Kite means air. Okay, poly means many, kite means hair. They are chiefly marine. Some can be also seen in the freshwater. The segmentation is internal and the external. The segmentation is internal segmentation and external segmentation. See, when it comes to the segments, there are two different types of segmentation can be seen. Okay, external segmentation means we can see the body, we can see the earthworm by its segment. Okay, externally the segments are visible. Okay, the segments are visible. When we see the earthworm, the segments can be visible. We can see the earthworm through its segments. See, that is called as external segmentation. Okay, in case of internal segmentation, when we cut the earthworm, we can also see the segments internally also. That is called as the internal segmentation. Okay, so the phylum, the class, the organisms which is placed in this particular class, Polychaeta, this shows the segmentation both internal as well as the external segmentation. The head is very well developed with eyes, palps, and tentacles. Okay, setae is numerous on lateral parapodia. This is particularly for the locomotion. Clitellum is absent. What is the function of clitellum? We'll be going to see on the upcoming slides. Sexes are separate, which means what? Dioecious. Gonads temporarily and in many segments. Okay, many segments. In all the segments, reproductive organs is present. And what is the larval stages? Larval stages seen here is tropopore larva. Clear? That's all about the class Polychaeta. Now, class 2 Oligochaeta. The name oligo means few. Chaeta means hair. Okay, here many hair will be present. Here only few hairs will be present here. Mostly they are terrestrial and some can also be seen in the fresh water. And again, the segmentation is external as well as internal. The head is indistinct, but in case of Polychaeta, the head is distinct with has tentacles in it. But here, there is no papillae, there is no tentacles, there is no sensory organs. Setae are few, embedded in the skin. The parapodia is absent here. Glandular clitellum present for cocoon formation, so that the organisms or the the organisms which can wrap themselves inside the cocoon. Hermaphroditic, which means what? Monoecious. The sexes are not separate. Okay, the sexes are not separate. Both will be present in the same individual. So the test is anterior to the ovaries. Both will be present in the same individual. The fertilization is external, which means what? The fertilization does not occur within the body of the individual. Fertilization will be happens outside the body of the individual. The female will drop the egg, and the the male sperm will reach the egg by its pheromones, and it fuses outside the body, and they are after fertilization. It doesn't need any parental care, so it can hatch themselves into the adult. Again, the development is direct development. There is no larval stages. Phylum Annelids, we know that it is known for its strokophore larva. That too in the class Polychaeta. But when it comes to the Oligochaeta, there is no larval stages is seen here. So the development is direct. Yeah. And second, the third class is very, very important, Hirudinea. The leech, every types of leech and every species of leech will be placed under this particular class, Hirudinea. Okay, and that we can be seen there in the freshwater, marine, or the terrestrial. Generally, it is ectoparasitic. We can watch this type of leech in many of the movies. When the workers, when the labor will be work on the tea estates. Generally, it is very common in the hill stations. Okay, when they work in the tea estates, when they finish their work and come this, generally they are going to take this leech. This is their they have to spend time and to take these type of leech from their legs, hands, and wherever it is. So it will be seen very common in those areas, generally ectoparasitics and blood sucking or the carnivores. Okay, these are all the characteristics of this particular leech. Body with fixed number of segments, and each segment is subdivided externally into annuli. Each segment is subdivided externally into the annuli. Now, so what is the segmentation seen in this particular leech means external segmentation. So the segmentation is external without internal septa. Septa means what? Partition. The partition cannot be seen from the inside. only we can see the segments or the separation only from the outside. So the internal partition or the septa is absent in this leech. Parapodia and setae are again absent. Both anterior and posterior ends of the body is with suckers. Only with the help of these suckers it can be attached to the body of the humans or any other host. Only then it can suck the blood from the body. And coelom much reduced due to its filling by botryoidal tissue and forms the hemocoelomic sinuses. See, coelom reduced due to its filling by botryoidal tissue. So the botryoidal tissue will be present inside the coelom. And generally, what is the meaning of the coelom? A body fluid filled cavity. Fluid filled body cavity. And that what is the name of the fluid is here a botryoidal tissue. Okay, and forms the hemocoelomic sinuses. And hermaphroditic with one male and one female gonophore. We know that hermaphrodite means both male and female reproductive organ will be present in different segments. And fertilization, and this male will be present anterior to the female. This is the perfect location. And the fertilization of this particular leech is internal fertilization. So the fusion or the fertilization will be happens within the body of the individual in any of the segments. Development in cocoons, direct development without larval stages. See, there is no larval stages seen in both Oligochaeta and Hirudinaria. But the larval stages which is seen in Polychaeta is trophophore larva. Don't forget this point. And what is the other class? Archae Annelida. Okay, arch means first. Archae Annelida. About 1 dozen genera of small marine worms of unknown affinities. Okay, here the segmentation is internal segmentation. There is no parapodia and setae is present here. Sexes are separate, dioecious in nature. So it is a indirect development because it undergoes a larval stages which is called as the trophophore larva. And the example for this particular Archaeannelida is Polygodius and Protodrillus. Okay, don't forget the examples. At least remember each one example for each class. Now, that's all about the general characteristics. Now, we are going to see about the excretory system of the phylum Annelids. So, we are going to discuss about 3 different species under the phylum Annelids, and we are going to compare what are all the excretory organs. This is for these 3 slides is going to deal with the excretory system. So the first thing, excretory organs. What is the name? See, Nereis. Nereis is said to be as a clamworm. Feritema is nothing but a earthworm. Hirudinaria, this is nothing but a leech. So the question directly come from these 3 points. Okay. In the match the following in any of the question, so you have to name the common. You have to remember the common name. Nereis means clamworm, Feridima, earthworm, Hirudinaria, and leech. Now, what is the excretory organs which is present under which is used by the Nereis or the clamworm is meganephridia. Little bit size is bigger than the normal nephridium. That is said to be as a meganephridia. When it comes to the Peritema, it is micronephridia. In Hirudinaria, it is meganephridia. So, you have to understand what is the name of the excretory organ when it comes to the phylum Annelida is nephridia. Okay, but you should also know there are different types of nephridia, the meganephridia and micronephridia. Okay. The question cannot be going to ask specifically what is the excretory organs for used by the Nereis. They can't be asked like that. But anyhow, you should know there are different types of nephridium, and this clamworm or Nereis is going to use this meganephridium because of the morphological structures that we are naming the nephridia. Which nephridia it is? Occurrence occurs in each segment except of a few anterior and posterior ones. This excretory organs will be present in every segment except some of the segments in the anterior and posterior ones. All the segments consist of the excretory organs, but you should know that the excretory organs is not this particular segment is meant for only for excretion, like that there is no such thing. Excretory organs will be present in majority of the segments except some of the segments from the anterior and the posterior ones. Here in earthworm, this occurs in each segment except the first two. First two segments, only the first two segments is devoid of this particular excretory organs. All other segments will carry the excretory organs, micronephridium. And there are 17 pairs of nephridia, one pair in each segment from the 6th to 22nd. Clear? And this is the only area where the excretory organs present when it comes to the Hirudin area. Clear? What are all the types of nephridia? All are similar. The meganephridia or the nephridium which is present in the clamworm, all are similar in their size, similar in their functions, morphologically similar. We can say that. And when it comes to the earthworm, there are three different types of nephridia seen when it comes to the earthworm. See, integumentary in all except the first two. And the second one is pharyngeal in segment. And the third one is septa on both faces of the septum behind the 15th segment. In the 15th segment, septum is present on both the faces. In the segment 4 and 5, 6, this is said to be as a pharyngeal micronephridia because pharynx will be presented. Integumentary in all except the first two. Except the first two segment, all other excretory organs are integumentary in nature. Which means they are exist together. They are not arranged separately. Integumentary in all the segment except the first two segments. So these three types of segment, these three types of nephridium can be seen in place of earthworm. There are two different types of nephridia when it comes to the Hirudin area. Pre-testicular nephridia, that is from the 6th to the 11th segment. Testicular nephridia in segments from the 12th to 22nd. Clear? From 6th to 11th, it is pre-testicular because before the testis will be present. In case of 12 to 22, after, it is a testicular nephridia, means it is present behind the nephridium. That is why it is called as a testicular nephridia. Okay, pre-testicular and testicular. Based on the location of testis, we name this particular nephridium. So these are all the types of nephridia with respect to all these three particular organisms. And nephrostome, what is nephrostome means? In case of Nereis, one end of the nephridium opens in coelom of the segment in front by the ciliated funnel or the nephridium, nephrostome. See, one end of the nephridium is connected with this particular nephrostome. In case of clamworm, here in earthworm, each septal nephridium opens in the coelom of its own segment by a nephrostome. Integumentary and pharyngeal nephridia lack the nephrostomes. So nephrostome is one of the structure which is present in the nephridium, and how this nephrostome is attached with the nephridia. That is why this is what makes a difference in all these three organisms based on their attachment with the nephridium. Of course, this nephrostome is one of the structure present in the nephridium, which is going to help in the function of excretion. Okay, but this in each segment, only one end of the nephridium will be attached with the nephrostome. But here in earthworm, each septal nephridium opens in the coelom of its own segment by the nephrostome. Each will be opens into a nephrostome. And this nephrostome, which is the nephridia, which is present integumentary as well as the pharyngeal nephridia, which lacks this type of structure called the nephrostomes. In case of leech, the nephridia of the adult lack the nephrostomes, which are probably represented by the ciliated organs. In case of leech, this nephrostome will be organized or arranged or evolved is structure as a ciliated organ. So the nephrostome structure is lacking in case of leech. Nephridiophore. Other end of nephridium. See, one end of nephridium will be opens to the nephrostome. The other end of nephridium will be opens outside through an opening which is called as the nephridiophore, through which the excretory organs will be the excretory organs will be open, the excretory waste, the excretions of that particular organisms will be open through this nephridiophore to the outside of the body. This is why it is said to be as an exonephric. Okay, this type of nephridium is said to be as exonephric. See, once again, let me explain. This is the nephridium. One end of the nephridium will be opens to the nephrostome, and the other end of the nephridium will be opens to the nephridiophore, through which all the waste will be opening to the external environment. That is why it is said to be as a exonephric. But see, integument in case of clampworm, but in case of earthworm, the integumentary nephridia possess a nephridiophores opening to the exterior. See, in case of integumentary nephridium, it is opening to the exterior. In case of pharyngeal and septal nephridia, lack such a structure called nephridiophore, opens into an alimentary canal. So, as this pharyngeal and septal nephridia lacks this structure called the nephridiophore, all the excretory waste will be open into the alimentary canal itself. So, this is called as the enteronephric. Clear? Now, this is with respect to the earthworm. When it comes to the Hirudinaria, that is leech, all nephridia possess the nephridiophores opening into the exterior. So, all are said to be as the exonephric. Clear? Now, accessory excretory organs. What are all the other structures apart from this nephridia, nephrostome, nephridiophore? What are all the other excretory organs which is involved in the function of which is involved in the process of excretion is chlorogogen cells, botryoidal tissue, all are going to deal with this excretion process. But in case of knee raise, no accessory excretory organs will be seen here. Accessory organs is nothing but supporting organs in the process of excretion. There is no such structures will be seen in case of clamworm. But in case of earthworm, chlorogogen cells, this is the name of the cells, helps the organisms to do the excretion functions more efficiently. And this is the name of the cells which is going to help in that function. And in case of leech, botryoidal tissue is also considered to have an excretory function. Okay. Now, parts of the nephridium. What is the name of the what is the parts which is present in the nephridium? Means a neck will be present, a body is present, a ciliator organ does not form here. Just a neck and a body. How we can categorize this, how we can uh, explain the structure of nephridium means by seeing the neck and the body. But in case of earthworm, it has a nephrostome or a ciliated funnel, okay, through which the organisms send out their excretory waste to the exterior. Okay, this is a nephrostome or ciliated funnel. Main body comprising a straight lobe with spirally twisted lobe and the short terminal duct. Ciliatory organs does not form here. But here, this a main lobe, vesicle with vesicle duct, apical lobe, inner lobe, initial lobe, ciliated organ is present only in the iridium. A pre-testicular nephridium has no ciliated organelle. That too, only testicular nephridium will possess the ciliated organ, not the pre-testicular nephridium. Now, what are all the functions of nephridia? The nephridia will remove the excretory waste from the blood as well as from the coelomic fluid. What is the name of the fluid present inside the coelom when it comes to the phylum and the lids? Just tell me, what is the name of the fluid? What is the name of the tissue which is present in the coelom of the organisms which is placed under the phylum and the lids? Three times I have explained this point. What is the name of the fluid? See, we know that we have two different types of coelom. What is that? Sisocellus, very good. White rodent tissue, good. So this is what a listening capacity. This is the listening skill, okay? See, a white rodent tissue. We have studied that there are two different types of isocellus as well as the enterocellus in the coelom individual. But in case of but in case of this phylum Annelids, this is Schizocylus. By splitting the mesoderm, the body cavity will be arise. But here, the name of coelom is fluid-filled body cavity, and that fluid is said to be a boidrioidal tissue. And again, the boidrioidal tissue is the one because of the presence of this boidrioidal tissue. The organisms can also has the capacity to eliminate the waste which is present inside the body cavity. See, in case of the organism, we have studied this boidrioidal tissue is an accessory organ going to help in the function of excretion. No doubt in that. Of course, nephridia is the main functions of nephridia is to eliminate the waste. See, blood from the blood as well as the coelomic fluid. Nephridia has the capacity to remove the excretory waste from the blood. Why we are saying this boidrioidal tissue is also considered as an excretory organ means because only because of the presence of boidrioidal tissue inside the body cavity, this boidrioidal tissue can also help the organisms to eliminate the waste from the coelomic fluid also. Okay, clear. Now, all the nephridium remove the excretory waste from the blood. Only septal nephridia removes the same from the coelomic fluid also. Okay, here in case of earthworm, the septal nephridia remove the excretory waste from the coelomic fluid. Here, all nephridia removes the excretory waste from the hemocoelomic fluid, which means what? In the blood as well as the coelomic cavity. Now, this is the most important function. Nature of the excretion. We can categorize the excretory waste into three forms: ammonotelic, ureotelic, and uricotelic. Okay. In case of ammonotelic, the excretory waste contains ammonium. Okay. In case of ureotelic, the excretory waste contains urea. In case of uric acid, uricotelic organisms, that particular excretory waste consists of uric acid. Okay, ammonotelic, ureotelic, and uricotelic. Okay, in case of ammonotelic, the excretory waste will contain ammonia in it. In case of urea, it is very little toxic than the ammonium. So it will be, the urea will be eliminated in the excretory waste. In case of uricotelic, the uric acid will be urico. In case of uricotelic, the uric acid will be released as an excretory waste. The best example for monotelic is fishes. The best example for ureotelic is animals. Sorry, the human beings. In case of uricotelic, the best example for this uricotelic is birds. So this can also be asked in the question. But see, in annelids, these two types of excretory waste can also be seen here, urea as well as the ammonia. So we can say this near is as an ammonotelic organism because it excretes ammonia as their excretory in their excretory waste. And in case of earthworm, it is ureotelic in nature. It eliminates urea in their excretory waste. In case of okay, so let me explain what are all the things you have to focus when it comes to this excretory organs. What are all the points are? Name of the excretory organs and accessory excretory organs, nature of excretion. Okay, all points are important, but these three columns are very important. So don't forget to read this. Any doubts with respect to the excretory organs, excretory system? See, we have completed the excretory system. Okay, now we are going to form the coelom. Okay, in phylum analysis, coelom formation and coelom ducts. Okay, phylum Annelida represents the first group of metazoan animals. Okay, first group of metazoan animals. There are many animals which is placed under the phylum Metazoa. Right from the porifera, every other through the diagram. Okay, let me show you the diagram. But in the diagram also, they can't be explained with all these things. Okay, let me try 1 minute. Wait, let me show you. I have searched for that expiratory system diagram, but not that exact parts will be mentioned there. That is what I couldn't show that. Okay, I just look at the picture, but I couldn't highlight anything. See, this is called as the integumentary nephridium. This is the integumentary nephridium. This is the cetal nephridium. This is the cetal nephridium. And this is what a digestive tract. Okay, this is the digestive tract right from the mouth and ends with the anus. Anus is not mentioned here. This is said to be as a pharyngeal nephridium. The pharyngeal nephridium, it is placed because why it is said to be as a pharyngeal nephridium means it is the excretory organ nephridium which is placed under near the pharynx. So it is said to be as a pharyngeal nephridia. So all the waste from the pharynx will be eliminated only from this pharyngeal nephridium. Okay, the septal nephridium means the nephridium which is going to eliminate the waste from the coelomic cavity or the body cavity. Clear? And this integumentary nephridium will be eliminate the waste from the blood. Okay, that is what the function of the integumentary nephridium. So these are all the digestive tract. If mouth is there, buccal chamber, because of the pharynx present here, then it is said to be as a pharyngeal nephridia. Okay, this is said to be the esophagus. And this is the gizzard. This is the stomach region. Okay, this is the stomach region. This is the intestine. This is the clitellum. Clear? Any doubts? Or you want little bit more? Clitellum is nothing but they are going to involve in the function of reproduction. Okay. See, the diagram can't be mentioned like this. Okay. The separate picture for excretory organ will not be available. Only this only it is shown there. Okay. Now, coelom formation and the coelom ducts. Phylum Annelids represents the first group of metazoan animals developing a true coelom. See, you have to connect this point when I show you the, see, I have shown you a picture, which means what, on outline classification. That protozoa, animal kingdom will be classified into further two types, that is protozoa and eumetazoa. From the eumetazoa, we can further classify it into two, that is parazoa, mesozoa, and like that, enterozoa. From the enterozoa, we can classify further into radiata and the bilateria. In the radiata, some of the phylum will be present. In the bilateria, some of the phylum will be present. And from the bilateria, we can classify further into what is it, protostomia and heterostomia. From the division protostomia, there are many acoelomata is there, coelomate is there, and pseudocoelomate is there, like that. And so, like that, in metazoa, let me show you the picture itself. Wait. 1 minute. Sorry for the time. See. See, in the animal, two subkingdom will be there, protozoa and new metazoa. In new metazoa, mesozoa, parazoa, and enterozoa is there. In enterozoa, there are two types, radiata and bilateria. See the phylum. This phylum will be placed in this radiata, and bilateria will be classified into proterostomia and deuterostomia. And from the proterostomia, acoelomata is there, pseudocoelome, schizocoelome, and deuterostomia is classified into enterocoelome. And we know that this is the only phylum. The phylum, first phylum, it is not a only phylum. Phylum Annelida, up to this, there is no true body cavity will be present here. See, this is why I'm stressing to read the classification and its characteristics. Only when you know this, see in new metazoa, we have read about this and we have read about this too also. See, up to this, only acoelomate or the pseudocoelomate will be there. From the in the protostomia, the schizocoelomata and enterocoelomata, these two only, the phylum which is placed in at this two division will have a very good body cavity. And which is the phylum where the body cavity will be emerged first. And only when you know the phylum Annelida, which is placed in the schizocoelomata, you can easily answer this question. This is why I'm stressing why classification helps you in answering those questions. Okay, this is how you have to analyze the question. Okay, now also you can also come with a question, which is the phylum, which is the first phylum through which the body cavity will be emerged from the digestive tract. So you have to know that will be the phylum Echinodermata, because up to this the body cavity will be emerged only by splitting the mesoderm. Okay, only from the phylum Echinodermata the body cavity will be emerged from the digestive tract. So you should know these differences also. So this is the meaning of this point. First group of metazoan animals developing a true coelom with a true metameric segmentation. Straight away you can get this question. Okay, now in annelids are found certain tubes that is called as the segmental organs, as they are repeated in successive segments. So we should know that this annelids is known for its metameric segmentation. Each segment will has a reproductive organs, which means what? The reproductive organ will be present in the sixth segment. Also, again the reproductive organ will be seventh segment, eighth segment, ninth segment, from up to the 22nd segment. The reproductive organ will be repeating in each segment. Okay, that is the meaning for this point. Next, these tubes, these segmental tubes serves to convey the excretory and the reproductive organs from the coelom to the exterior, from the body cavity to the external environment. They act as the carrier to convey the products they produced by each organs in each segment. They are going to these segments is the one going to convey from one place to another. See, the most important point, the segment organs are primarily divided into two types. Okay, see the segmental organs divided into two types. The coeloducts derived from the mesoderm and the nephridia derived from the ectoderm. Don't forget these 2 points. The most unique characteristic features from the phylum annelids. See, we know that segmentations and the true coelom will be arise only from the phylum Annelids. This is the first point you have to remember. And in each phylum, the each phylum is not destined to only one function. The reproductive organ or excretory organ will be present in the sixth segment, will also be present in the upcoming segments also. So the organs are repeating in each segment. This is the second point you have to remember. So when it comes to the organs which is present in each segment, that is the segmental organs, will be divided into two types. One is coelomoducts and then nephridium, body cavity and the excretory organs. When it comes to the coelomoducts, this is going to derive from which layer? Mesoderm layer. And this nephridia will be derived from the ectoderm layer. So you should know that annelids are triploblastic in nature. Okay, this is how you have to connect all the general characters and the important unique characteristic features. Clear? Now, don't forget this point. Next, coelomoducts. Coelomoducts are normally wide tubes of mesodermal origin. Develops as evaginations from the coelom to the exterior. Typically, a coelomoducts organs to the exterior by genital pore into the coelom by a relatively large ciliated funnel which is called as the coelomostome. See, the large ciliated funnel, in case of coelomoducts, it is said to be as a coelomostome. But in case of a large ciliated funnel, when it comes to the nephridia, then it is called as what? Nephrostome. See, the nephrostome will carry all the excretory waste from the nephridium to the exterior. It is said to be as nephrostome. Like in the same way, the coelomoducts opens to the exterior by an opening which is called as a coelomostome. This is how you have to connect these two, nephrostome as well as nephrostome as well as the coelomostome. Clear? See, it is easily distinguished from a small ciliated funnel or the nephrostome. In case of a nephrostome, it is a small ciliated funnel. In case of coelomostome, it is a large ciliated funnel. Clear? Now, the coelomoducts primarily functions as a gonoducts. What is their function? Gonoducts are confined to only a few reproductive segments. See, the coelomoducts will be related to what? A reproduction function. They act as a gonoducts. Okay, and this particular coelomoducts or the gonoducts, they are confined only to a few reproductive segments, not all the reproductive segments. In Oligochaeta is what? Again, a class under the phylum Annelids, and the best example for Oligochaeta is earthworm. In earthworm, the reproductive funnels or the gonoducts or the coelomoducts, both male and female are the coelomoducts. The reproductive funnel is considered as what? Coelomoducts. However, in some forms, the coelomoducts may be secondarily function as the excretory organs also. So you should know that this nephridia, poitrioidal tissue, coelomoducts, and what is the other name of this? Chlorogeorgian cells. All these things also has the function as an excretory organ. You should know that. So this coelomoducts also do some of the function in excretion. You should be aware of this. And the uriniferous tubules of vertebrate kidney are said to be as the coelomoducts. This uriniferous tubules is nothing but the modification of the coelomoducts. Like the small coelomoducts also modified as the gonoducts, the coelomoducts also considered as an uriniferous tubules. Clear? That's all about the coelomoducts. Clear? Now, occurrence of metamerism, the most important topic. Okay, listen carefully. We are going to finish this phylum Annelids in today's class itself. In case if you have any doubts, just just tell me. Metamerism is first seen in Annelids. The first line will be your question. First seen in Annelids, and each segment usually contains appendages, muscles, nerves, blood vessels, excretory organs, and a pair of coelomic sacs, which are repeated in almost all the segments. Okay, this is why we have said the segmental organs will be, in each segment, many organs will be repeatedly seen here. Okay, because of their in need, because they are in need. See now, what is there each segment? What is present in each segment is appendages, muscles, nerves, blood vessels, excretory organs, and coelomic sacs. All the things will be repeatedly seen in each and every segment. Okay, it is also seen in chinorhynchs. What is it? Chinorhynchs, arthropods, and most chordates. See, it is also seen in Chinorhynchs is nothing but this is present under the phylum Arthropods. I'm going to explain this when I deal with the phylum Arthropoda. And this segment, it is also seen in arthropods, also in the chordates. So you have to understand this metameric segmentation. It is not only seen in annelids. It is starting from the phylum annelids. You should know the difference. What is and what is the statement I'm using here. The metameric segmentation, it is not unique for only phylum annelids, but it is starting from the phylum annelids. The concept of segmentation will be start only from the phylum annelids, not before the phylum annelid. Okay, so it is very well seen in phylum annelids. We can say like that, but it's not only for phylum annelids. So the segment will also seen in the arthropods and most of the chordates, but it is first observed in the phylum Annelids. The most successful animals of animal kingdom like arthropods, chordates will also show the metameric segmentation. In annelids, the metameric segmentation is both external and internal. As it is present in both external as well as the internal, this metameric segmentation is very well seen in the phylum annelids. That is what I'm saying. See, what is the difference is, in case of metameric segmentation, the concept will be arise only from the phylum annelids. Okay, but this can also be seen in the phylum and arthropods and the chordates as well. But what is the difference? In annelids, the metameric segmentation is both external and internal. If we can see the body segments by naked eye, okay, by seeing the earthworm, we can find the segments, we can find the septa or the partition in the animal. If we cut the earthworm bilaterally, we can also see segments inside the body of the surface also. Okay, inside the surface, we can also see the segment. So the segmentation is external and internal. But see here, in arthropods and the chordates, in arthropods, the segmentation is external. We can't see the segments, we can't see the septa or the partition inside the body. In chordates, the segmentation is internal. When we see the chordate animal, we can't see the segmentation externally. Only we can cut the individual and we can see the segmentation inside the body. This is what a difference, and this will be your question. Okay, so the perfect example for metameric segmentation is phylum annelids, but the concept of segmentation can also be seen in the arthropods as well as in chordates. This is what a difference. Clear? Now, what is the characteristic features of this metamerism? Metamerism is always confined with the intermediate segments. Intermediate segments is what? It neglect the head region and the tail region, and the body region, that is appendages or the intermediate region or the trunk region. We can see the segments very clearly, except at the anterior organ head and the posterior pygidium or telson. So you should also know the technical term also. Acron means a head region, pygidium is a or telson is a tail region, anterior is a head region, posterior is a tail region. You should know all the meaning of all these words. And each metamer represent a mirror image of other, which means what? The organs or the important structures which is present in the fifth segment, all the structures will be present in the sixth segment also in seventh, also in eighth. Like that, all the segment has more or less the same structures. That is why this each metamer represents a mirror image of other. That is the meaning of this point. Of course, all these organisms are important, all the important structures present in one segment can also be seen in many of the segments. These segmental structures are not dependent on each other. They are functions of their own. Sorry, they are interdependent on each other, which means what? They are dependent on each other. They are not acts on its own. That is what a metamerism. In the first class, I have explained two different types of segments is there. Okay, in what and your duty is what is the term which is going to see. I am saying the examples. See, if the segments is present in one organisms, two types of segments can be seen. See, of course, this organisms also possess segments, and this organisms also possess this same segments. Okay, both the organisms will have the segments. Okay, but here consider this as a phylum annelids. Okay, here one segment will depend on the other segment. one segment will depend on the other segment, and this is said to be as the interdependent on each other. The perfect example for this phylum is for this is annelids, and I have also explained the name of the term. And here one segment will not dependent on each other. Whatever you do, just go through the recorded classes and just tell me. If you're not, don't worry, I will say. Oh, so here in phylum annelids, they are interdependent on each other. That is what I'm trying to say. But there are also segments which are not dependent on each other also. They are integrated into a single functional unit. All the segments of the body work in coordination. Okay, that is why we are saying interdependent on each other. What are all the types of metamerism? See, true metamerism is there. Homonomous metamerism, heteronomous metamerism, external metamerism, internal metamerism, external and internal, complete metamerism, incomplete metamerism, pseudo metamerism is there. And what is the significance of metamerism? So totally there are 9 different types of metamerism. Okay. Now, what is true metamerism? More or less every meaning will be similar, but only a slight difference will be seen in each and every types of metamerism. So the first type is true metamerism. The true metamerism is one in which the segmentation of the body developed by the segmentation of the mesoderm. So where it has been originating from the mesoderm, and from the mesodermal, see, this is what I'm explaining here. This is a schizocoelomate, and from where the body cavity will be arising from the mesoderm. And the perfect example for this, annelids, arthropods, and mollusca. The same point will be explained here. Of course, there is a coelom is there. Coelom means what? Coelomate animal means a true body cavity will be present there. Yeah. And coelom is arising, that will be the question. Either by the splitting the mesoderm, that is schizocoelomates, either from the digestive tract, that is enterocoelomates. See here, the true segment, true metamerism is one in which the segmentation of the body develops by the segmentation of the mesoderm. That is schizocoelomate. And what are all the phylum? Annelids, arthropods, and mollusca. See, the best examples are annelids, arthropods, and the muscardate. This will not be, of course, it is a true metamerism, but it is not from the mesoderm. Annelids, arthropods, and mollusca. Okay. Fine. That is a true metamerism. Homonomous metamerism. If the segments or somites of all the animals are all alike, which means similar, the segmentation is called as the homonomous metamerism. What is the difference between true metamerism and homometamerism is, see, all the segments will be arise from the mesoderm. That is said to be as what? True metamerism. In case of homonomous metamerism, all the segments are looking similar. That is said to be as the homonomous metamerism. And the perfect example is phylum annelids. Each segment consisting of the blood vessels, nerves, nephridia, and coelomates. All these will be seen all segments. That is why it is said to be as the homonomous metamerism. The perfect example is phylum annelids. And heteronomous metamerism is the body, the segments are not similar with respect when it compares to the other segments. One segment will be different in structure when compared to the other segment in the same individual. And the best example for this is phylum Arthropods. This is said to be as heteronomous metamorphism. Sorry, metamerism. External metamerism, we know that we can see the segments externally. That is said to be as the external metamerism. Internally, the segments is not marked by the partitions or the septum. We can't see the segments internally. Only externally we can. The segment is visible. The perfect example is arthropods. And the internal metamerism is the metamerism. The segments can be seen only from the inside, not externally. The externally we can't, the segments is not visible. That is said to be as internal metabolism. See, Now, this internal metamerism in vertebrates, it is seen in the embryos and confined to the muscular, skeletal, and the nervous system. Okay. Now, external and internal metamerism. The metamerism or the segments can be visible both externally and internally. And the perfect example is annelids, that is earthworm, peridyma. Externally, it is marked by the constrictions or the skin. Internally, it is marked by the partitions or the septa. Anyhow, we can differentiate from one segment to the another segment. That is what I'm trying to say. Both external and internal metamerism, and the perfect example is phylum annelids. Complete metamerism. What is complete metamerism means? When the segmentation is practically in all systems. Segmentation is present practically in all the systems. The metamerism is said to be as a complete metamerism. All the systems, for digestive system, reproductive system, respiratory system, excretory system, nervous system, sensory organs, in every in all the physiological system, the segmentation can be seen. That is what is said to be as the complete metamerism. And in incomplete metamerism, the segmentation is not seen in all the organs. Okay, then it is said to be as a incomplete metamerism. And the perfect example for this particular type is arthropods and the chordates. Clear? Pseudo-metamerism or strobilization. In contrast to true metamerism, pseudo-metamerism or strobilization is seen in the tapeworms, that is Platyhelminthes. See, it looks like a segment, but it is not considered as a perfect example for the metamerism. Pseudo-metamerism, it is seen in the Platyhelminthes. This is why I'm stressing the classification is important. Platyhelminthes, Azelminthes, and Annelids. See, in case of Platyhelminthes, that is flatworms, it is pseudo-coelomate animal. It looks like a body cavity, but it is not. Okay, but in case of Azelminthes or Nemathelminthes, it is acoelomate. There is no body cavity. But from the phylum, the concept of body cavity will be arising. Clear? And the metamerism or the segments which is present in any of the pseudo-coelomate animal, it is said to be as a pseudo-metamerism or the strobilization. Clear? Now, I have expected from you people, I have explained you one important point when I explained the platyhelminthes. I have explained you the strobilization. When I explained the meaning of strobilization, I have used the term segments. But you people didn't ask any question. But I try to explain that particular concept here. Okay. See, in pseudocoelomates, there also the segment will be seen here. But what is the name of the segment? Pseudo-metamerism, because it is a pseudocoelomate animal. There is no perfect development of body cavity. In case the segments will arise in those particular organisms. This is said to be as the pseudo-metamerism or strobilization. I have explained the word strobila, nothing but a segments, proglottids. Clear? Now, see that segments will be formed in the external layer. And see, what is the significance of metamerism means? It helps in the locomotion process. What is the significance of metamerism? In the locomotion process, it will be helpful. Not only in burrowing, but in all other types of locomotion. So this metamerism helps in the process of locomotion. Metamerism often offers division of labor because each segments have respiratory system or respiratory organ, excretory organ, coelomoduct. So each structure will destined to do their own function. Clear? So this is said to be as a division of labor. Clear? That's all about phylum analysis. Now we have completed coelom formation, coelom and coelomoducts and metameric segmentation. That's all about the phylum analysis. Up to this, not only analysis, if you have any doubts with respect to all these things means you can ask me now. I will explain you once again. Any doubts or any other suggestions? And did you make a flow chart mind map? And I have completed up to this helminth test yesterday, right? And if you do any general characteristics, porifera, five important points, canal system, what are the type, five important points, like that? Anything? Any notes out of your personal interest? Okay, just interact with me if you need anything. Hello? Okay, no, no preparation. Huh? Okay, regularly I'm sending my recording to sir. I'll ask him to send you in the group or to update to upload in the app. Don't worry. Okay, so up to now the recording class will not reach you, right? Okay, okay, it's okay. Wait. Oh, okay, okay, don't worry. Okay, don't worry. I'll inform sir by today. Or let me send you in the group or through the mail. Don't worry. Okay. Okay. Let's go to the test. Answer for this question. Of course, the same question will be repeating. Okay. Okay. Thank you. First question. What is Teniasolium? Good. A perfect typeform. So, this is the question we are solving now. How to solve this question? For example, what is senior solium? And you all know the answer, pork tapeworm. And we should not stop up to this. What is our duty to do? What is beef tapeworm? What is human tapeworm? What is dog tapeworm? And what is the human tapeworm? We have seen Taenia saginata. Okay, that is said to be as a human tapeworm. And what is dog tapeworm? Enterobius, Echinococcus granulus. This is said to be as a dog tapeworm or a hyatid worm. Like that, you should know what is beef tapeworm, what is human, what is dog tapeworm. These are all the things you have to understand. This is how you have to solve the question. Just answering this particular question is not sufficient for us. Okay, the question can also be asked from this. The question can also ask from this. So you have to analyze all the four options and you are ready now for four different questions. If you answer for this question and this pork tapeworm is the answer, you have ready only for one question. Okay, but what is your duty is you have to analyze the second option, third option, fourth option. Now you are ready with four different questions. This is how solving question is important. Just by answering that particular question is not sufficient. That is not a correct preparation method. Clear? Okay. So the now answer for this particular question is pork tapeworm. The definitive host for Taenia solium in which of the following? Man, swine, dog, cattle. Very good. Man. And what is the intermediate host or the secondary host for this particular Taenia solium? What is the intermediate host or the secondary host for that particular TNS film is pig. Very good. Super. So, and your duty is what swine act as the definitive host or the intermediate host for which of the following organisms. Dog act as a host for which of the following diseases. Cattle act as a which of the following places? You have to analyze all those things. See, and come up with a TSPSC just to show, just to say this particular thing only. Okay, not for the sake of solving questions and test and all. That is a secondary part. Okay, but main motto is you have to analyze all those things. Clear? This is how the correct. This is the correct preparation method. Now again, the intermediate course is repeating. Intenia solium has mouth and anus both are present. Only mouth is present but no anus. Only anus is present but no mouth. Mouth and anus is present. So, answering question is a more than okay. Okay, let it be. I left all the answers will to you. Okay, you have to find the answers by reading the PPT. But what I'm suggesting to say, what I'm telling is, from which of the following organism the digestive tract is complete, and which option refers to the incomplete digestion? Which option referred to as complete digestive system, and which option refers to incomplete digestion? One refers to what? Mouth and anus both are present, so we can say them as a complete digestive system. And which option, correct me, just tell me which options refers to the incomplete digestion. Okay, which option refers to incomplete digestion? Incomplete digestion. Only two. Very good. See, there is a difference between an absence of digestive system and the incomplete digestive system. See, if only mouth is present, anus is absent, only anus is present, no mouth is absent. So we can both tell them as the incomplete digestion. But mouth and anus are absent, so we can say them as a digestive system is absent here. Okay, digestive system is absent here. This is said to be as a complete digestion. This is said to be as an incomplete digestion. This is what I'm trying to say. Okay, now see, find answer for this question, but before that I have to explain how to analyze this question. See, I have repeatedly saying there is a question they can throw at you by comparing the two different phylum. See, which of the following is true for roundworms but not true for the flatworms? Flatworms is said to be as a what? What is flatworms? What is a phylum which is referred to as the flatworms? Name the phylum which refers to the flatworms. Quick, quick. I have to explain all the questions. Platyhelminthes. What is the name of the phylum which is placed under the roundworms? Ascaris placed under which phylum? Nemathelminthes. Clear? Okay, see, this is why the comparing these three phylums, because all the organisms which is placed under these three particular phylums are considered worms. So comparing these three phylums than any other phylum is very, very, very important. See, this platyhelminthes is said to be as flatworms. This nemathelminthes is said to be as roundworms. This annelids is said to be as a segmented worms. So these three phylums is very, very important. When I'm explaining the topic, I have explained, I have said this. See, the question will be arise from this. So what is the characteristics of roundworms, which is not applicable for this particular flatworms? Okay. So this is the thing you have to remember. And one more thing is, what is the meaning of all those 3 points, all those Four options. Bilateral symmetry, we have to cut the organisms at particular plane. Triploblastic means there is a three different germinal layers will be present: ectoderm, endoderm, and mesoderm. In case of dioecious, male individual is different from the female individual. Both the sexes will not be appeared in the same individual. That is what a dioecious. It is said to be as a unisexual. And internal fertilization means what? The fertilization will be happens within the uterus or within the female body. That is said to be as an internal fertilization. It is different from the external fertilization, where the fertilization happens outside the body of an organism. And finding the answer for this question is I'm left to you. Okay, by reading the very good. By reading the general characteristics, you can find this. But how to analyze the question? From this question, you have to understand, you should not only read the characteristics of roundworms and the flatworms, you have to aware all the general characteristics for all the phylums. Okay, this is the sample question. Now, Hook's worms belongs to Platyhelminthes, Azelminthes, and Nemathelminthes. Hookworms belongs to which of the following class? From this question, you have to know the common name for phylum is very important when it comes to the question. Clear? See, this is said to be as a flatworms. This is said to be as, this both are said to be as a hookworms. Okay. So the common names are very, very, very important. Now, see, the schistosomiasis is caused by, what is it? The schistosomiasis is caused by, see, you have to know when it comes to any of the diseases. See, just take a note of it, please. See, just take this as schistosomiasis. What you have to know is whether it is, first thing, whether it is caused by which of the following, which organisms, whether it is a bacteria or the fungi or the virus or the parasitic worms. First thing you have to remember this. And the second thing is you have to remember the mode of transition, the mode of transmission. Okay, fine. In case it is a bacteria, which bacteria is going to cause this schistosomiasis? In case it is a virus, which virus is going to cause diseases? In case of this parasitic worms, which worm is going to cause this particular schistosomiasis? This is the most important thing, name of the pathogen. Okay. Now, in case it is any pathogen caused by a pathogen, what is their host? Whether it is a digenetic or monogenetic, you have to know whether if it is a digenetic, you have to know what is the primary host, what is the secondary host. This is how you have to read. Okay, you know that the schistosomiasis is obviously this parasitic worms. And what is the name of the pathogen? Very good. What is the name of the pathogen? What is the mode of the transmission? What is the primary host and secondary host? These are all the things you have to remember. For this particular question, the answer is parasitic worms. But you also know all these type of terms related to this particular disease. Yeah. Now, the most common type of schistosomiasis, and we have studied there are three different species. We have aware about these three different species: Manzoni, Japonicum, Hematobius, and Metconzi. We didn't read this: Manzoni, Japonicum, and Hematobium. And the most common type of schistosomiasis is Hematobium. Hematobium, as it is feed on the blood. This is the common type. Okay, don't I didn't I explain you this question, just aware of this. The cystosoma hematobium is a common type of schistosomiasis. Now, this is the basis on which the female ascaris can be identified. I have explained you, in case of a female, there is a sharp posterior end. In case of male, there will be the blunt end like this. So the same thing will be reflected in the question. In case of female, it has a sharp posterior end. In case of male, it is a blunt end. By looking this only, we can come to know whether it is female or a male. Okay. So what are all the things I have explained in the class? The same thing will be reflecting here. That is why I'm saying revising the PPT is more than sufficient. Okay. And what is the books which you have? Go through this. Go through that once again. Ascaris lumbricoids found living in the intestine of So you have to what you have to know is what is Ascaris, what is the phylum it has been placed under. It is placed under which phylum, and what is a common name for that particular phylum, and in case it is what is their life cycle. To complete their life cycle, how many hosts it is needed, whether this Ascaris is a monogenetic or digenetic. In case it is a monogenetic, what is the name of the host? Of course, it is a man. Only one host will be involved in the life cycle of Ascaris. There is no intermediate host is present there. So, Homo sapiens is a biological name for the human beings. Okay, these are all the things you have to be remember. In case of a host, what is the name of the host? In case of it is a host, in case it is a man, what is their area, what is their target area they are going to inhabit, where they sexually mature? That area is very, very important. Clear? Now, the process of morphological differentiating male and female sexes is known as, yeah, very good, intestine. The process for morphological differentiating male and female is known as sexual dimorphism. Okay, I have explained. The male have a different own characteristics and well-developed reproductive organ, and the female is unique from male, and female is morphologically different with each other. They have a male have a well-developed sperm, well-developed reproductive organ, well-developed testes, and female have a well-developed ova, oviducts, and uterus. So sexually they are separate and very well developed. Okay, that is what said to be sexual dimorphism. We can say them as a dioecious or unisexual. Okay, everything will be same. What is polymorphism? When which phylum is a best example for showing this polymorphism? Tell me which phylum is responsible for showing a perfect polymorphism. Just tell me which phylum is a perfect example for showing polymorphism. Is it why? If you know the syllabus, you can easily know. That is why I keep on stressing each and every point. In which phylum we study about this polymorphism. See, in case of canal system, it is porifera. In case of polymorphism, it is coelenterata. That is why syllabus is important to answering this type of questions. How syllabus is helping in answering this particular questions. Okay, in case the process of polymorphism is seen in, you can see if they give option in the phylum porifera, annelid, coelenterata, means you will go with answer annelida. What is the point of reading all those important definitions, types, and all those things? There is no use. You have to know the basic things. Okay, syllabus is important. Okay, by knowing the syllabus, you can easily answer this type of question. That is what syllabus is important. General characters classification is important. Clear? So the example for this question is sexual dimorphism, and polymorphism is phylum coelenterata. And what is variation means? This is a different chapter. Okay, biodiversity, variation, and all. Now, see, again, the question will be from the host. There is no alternative host, which means what? There is no intermediate host, though, so the answer will be Ascaris lumbricoids. And what is a common name for Ancylostomia? So you have to read the common name for all the parasite which is present here in your syllabus. Don't deviate from the syllabus. Okay, then there is no need for, there is no need of mugging up all those important things. You have to read what is a common name for Tinasodium and what is a common name for Cystosoma species, what is a common name for Ascaris, and all these particular parasites, we have to understand what is their common name. So you have to read all those things. Okay. When it comes to the host, what list of all the hosts, list of all the primary and secondary hosts for all these things. Ancyclostomia, very good. Hookworm. Ancyclostoma duodenale is a bacteria or fungi, virus, or the parasitic form. So, if you know all the list of this parasite, Teniasolium, Cystosoma, Ascaris, Ancyclostomia, Oxyuris, Lova, Trichinella, and Strongyloids. These are all the parasite which is mentioned in the syllabus. If the question arises from these means whether it is a bacteria or a fungi or like that means definitely you go with the helminth parasites or the helminth worms. The word helminth refers to worms. That is what syllabus is helping here. Now, how is again the transmission? So you have to read how all these parasites will be transmitting. Not only this is the sample for all those types. Okay, this is the representation. This Ancyclostomia is transmitted through water. It is going to transmit it with the contaminated food and water. And what are all the other parasites will also be transmitted with. Okay, very good. Okay, now which part of the body does Ancyclostoma duodale infect? So what you have to read is what are all the targeted areas, what are in which area which diseases is going to cause. So for all the parasites you have to read this. Okay, this is how you have to make a flow chart. And what is the symptom? Symptoms is common for majority of the infection. And treatment generally, as this is the helminth parasite, definitely anti-helminth drugs is the one going to helpful to treat these diseases. This is what I'm suggesting to read. Okay, this is how you have to read this chapter, this particular helminth chapter. Clear? Clear, Aruna Jyoti, Lalita, Shanti, Karanya. This is how you have to read. If you have any doubts, you can ask me or you can read the class. Thank you. It's up to time. It's about time. Okay. What about the others? Shall I end the class? Okay. Thank you.